Ooh, wow, it's bright out here. I'm in my backyard and it is time to harvest some of this basil and deal with it. The bush is getting pretty big. So I'm gonna share that with you in this hopefully short video. I know I can go on and on. So I'm just gonna cut off some of the tops, getting it near the, what I call the joints of the plant, and taking a whole bunch, well, taking some basil and put it in my dehydrator. I know there's probably a better gardening way to do this, but I never claimed to be a gardener. Basil is about the only thing I seem to be able to grow. So it's good enough for me. Okay, let's grab this up. And I think I've given it enough of a haircut. Yeah, I think that will do. Basically, I don't want any, well, no, I see some tops that are beginning to flower, because then it's just going to be done. So I will try to keep it going as long as possible this summer and not have any flowering tops. So that's really what I'm looking to take care of. Okay, I think I've got it. I said I was going to put this in my dehydrator, but this isn't actually a dehydrator. It's marketed as an air fryer. I'll put a link to what it is in the video description box. But I am using the 5 trays that come with it, and I will disperse these leaves onto the 5 trays, spread them out, maybe only 4 because I've space here, but let's see what I've got. I just sort of lay them out. I don't know how well you can see that, just a second. So I adjusted the camera view so you could see what was going on here. Yeah, all I need is 5 trays. I've got plenty of space. I want some air to be able to circulate amongst the leaves and dry them out. And this air fryer works as a dehydrator, so that's probably why I said I was going to put it in the dehydrator. I use it for an oven and for air fryer and dehydrator, all of those things. And now it will slide on in. Pardon me for having my back to you, but this way you can see. I'm going to space these trays out. I think I'm going to have to cram them a little bit. So let's see, let's kind of do it like this. Slide them in together. Okay, that's 3 of the 4 trays. And I'll just move the 4th one up higher. I probably could have fit in 5 trays if I had enough basil, but I don't. Okay, so now close it up and turn it on for the maximum heat. The maximum heat on this goes up to 400. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but up to 400. So I'm going to turn it down to probably 110. This part annoys me. I want to figure out how to silence the beeping if I can. But okay, so it's on 110, and I'm going to do maximum time. So that's just an arrow up, and the maximum time it will let me do is for an hour at a time. And then push the on button. And there we go. It'll be dehydrating. The reason I had the idea to do this video about the drying of the basil from out in the backyard is because I came home a few days ago from my trip to Vermont to see family, and my son showed me that he had finished the last batch that I put in when I left, and so he put it in this Ziploc container, and now it is dehydrated, and ready to crumble up. So I'll just kind of rub it to crumbles with my fingers and use some scissors if I need to. And then I'm going to put it in this repurposed spice jar, which was probably a Parmesan shaker jar. So this is my dehydrated basil. And as for the air fryer dehydrator oven thing, this unit is actually my second unit to own. I'll show you something here in just a second. When I got this one, this is actually the second one I've had. The first one I had was identical to this. I think it had another brand name on it. And then I thought I didn't really like the fact that when I pulled things out from these trays, especially things that were greasy or drippy, it would drip onto the door panel and I'd have to clean it up and whatnot. So I had myself convinced that I wanted the French doors that opened, side to side. Let's set that going again. Okay, whoops. Shoot, now I gotta reset it. Okay, I'll let you watch the resetting. So down to 110. It wouldn't matter if I did it 100, 120, whatever. I'm just picking a low temperature. And now I'm going back up to the hour. Okay, and it is going, right? I can hear it going. The fan's going. Yeah, it's going. Okay, it's going. So anyway, I had myself convinced that I wanted the French door kind of air fryer so that I wouldn't have to clean greasy drips on the door panel. I got myself another large air fryer unit, and I didn't like it because those double French doors that opened, they snapped back if you didn't have them. If you weren't careful to make sure they were all the way open like a car door so that it was kind of braced and wouldn't snap back on you. The other thing I didn't like about it was all of a sudden I'd lost my, the ability to have these 5 mesh trays that I could put in close order. The thing that I use this air fryer for the most is for making my sourdough crackers, which is another video that I made a while back. I'll link that video in the description box of this video, and I'll link the 2 air fryers that I've had, this one and the one that I replaced it with, that I didn't like after all because I didn't have 5 of these trays. I even looked online to see if I could buy extra trays, but it wouldn't have mattered because the side rails that you slide these trays into, there wasn't a way to have multiple dehydrating trays, and you couldn't buy extra dehydrating trays from that particular model. But I'll put it in the link anyway. It would have been great for having another oven to bake. I think it fit, it actually did fit a 9x13 pan, which I liked. I like that to expand my oven capacity. Anyway, I returned that French door air fryer oven that I bought, and I reordered this same model. It has a different name on it than the first one I had, but it's the exact same model. It runs the same as the first one I had, and I love that it has 5 trays. I don't always cook with all 5 trays. If I'm doing something like chicken for the family or fish for the family in the air fryer, I usually only put in 3 trays, because the more trays you stack in there in layers, the less air circulation space you're going to have, and that negatively affects your cooking. So anyway, just saying that this air fryer is the one I'm happiest with, and the other one that I did have, I sent that to Florida with our daughter that recently moved to Florida, so she's thrilled that she now has one of these air fryers. I like it too because it's large capacity. I can cook for a big family if I want. Anyway, that's the end of this video.